So here we are. It is Tuesday. It's the 23rd or 4th or something like that of May, and we got some like finalized trim going on the brick details. I think they look really sharp. There's a couple of different things going on here. The brick is just irregular, and so all of these windows ended up getting kind of trimmed out just a little bit different. We got the same kind of apron and sill detail, and then the same reveal on the casing on either side before we got the original detail trim, this little piece of molding, this picture frame wrapping all the way around. What's different on all of them is this top section, because the bricks weren't all very precise. So that one I think is a one-piecer, and this one is as well up top. That top piece just kind of comes flush to the brick. That one up there is one piece, but it's super skinny, and again it's about making it look right kind of from the ground as best you can. We probably could have done without that one, but to make them all consistent, I think this is the best plan. Now these, again, if you're just looking at them, don't look really any different than the others, but because they are about 3/4 of an inch taller, there's an extra filler right before that little top bevel piece, and that just picks it up a little bit, but all the other details are exactly the same. Everything going on in the corner, all of that, same reveal all the way around, and they look great. That's the last one. These two were actually pretty similar, but like I said, every one of these is gonna end up being done one at a time, and that top piece is gonna have to get kind of custom cut for every one of these openings. So they worked all day on this, and they got 5 windows done. Hopefully they'll finish up this side tomorrow, and we'll be off to the races. The back side, you notice also that I've been pulling off the protective film once they're all cased out. These need to get caulked and painted still, but they're essentially done, so I pulled them off. And then on the back side, I just did the same thing. These are all cased out all the way around, ready for siding back here, except for a couple of strips in here because we're reset. We've reset this door today, which was a nightmare. I'll spare you. There's 2 more to do. Have to get those done so that we can get insulation in here. Hopefully soon, we will see. But yeah, there's a couple of other details that we have to do. We're not quite ready. We got to put these brackets, because we've got this insulation in the back. We're going to be using these brackets to hold the ledger board off of the house. This space is going to get kind of filled with insulation, right? This back plate gets mounted to the sheathing behind this insulation, and then it still has a secure location to bolt the ledger board to. We locate these every 6 or 8 feet, all running all the way down, and then a double ledger all the way down, and that'll be the main beam on the house for the back porch eventually. I'm gonna do that separate, so it'll save some money. But we'll have the ledger in place, ready to go. We'll just have some temporary stairs off of each of these coming down, so that we can get living here. But casing's over here. I guess I gotta peel this off and clean that window. It's ugly, super dirty. I'll bring some Windex tomorrow. Yeah, it's just kind of, it's nice to see what it's really gonna look like when it's all said and done. Those upper windows are in the same exact location that they always were in. Very faithful to the original house. Obviously, what's going on down here is very different, and what's going on up there is very different, but it's woven in. I think it works pretty. It almost looks like a face, like a big smiley face or a robot head or something. I don't know. I guess it fits. The other thing that I'll just point out is probably not going to come out on camera great right now because the light is kind of low, but this piece and this piece, they're integrated with the window frame because this is one unit. That's the color. That is our final color, and you can see it's very, very similar to what we're using here for the primer color. It's just a couple of shades darker. So that's what we're going with. You're seeing a little sneak peek of the final color, which I might try to get a coat on these frames before the siding goes up. We're kicking that idea around. We'll see how everything lines up and what the timing looks like, but that's been the big doing today. And while the pros were doing their thing, I was doing mine down here. It doesn't look like much, but this was a full day's work for me at least. So we got the Fentrum sill seal along the edge here because again we had a foam gap between the slab and the walls, so there was this weird transition thing happening. I'm probably going to try to get an extension on this sill, just an aluminum extension, or maybe just some plate aluminum or something to glue down there to pretty that up and make it a little bit more durable as well. But the most important thing is we finally transitioned the Intello all the way around into the door frames, all taped off, ready to go, so that when the insulators come in, they can spray foam behind from inside around the casings. It's got something to stick to, and it'll be all sealed up. They'll seal it out there. They're doing that, and so that crosses one big thing off of the list. And the other big one that got crossed off the list is we officially have this window installed. It's in place. It looks great. Maybe a little caulking in there. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna get creative. This is gonna be my next project, and seeing how to detail this and make it all work nicely. Especially with those little drip. There's a drip hole here, a drip hole here. Got to make those work the correct way, away from the sill here. It's all slanting, so hard to see on camera, but it looks good. So I think we're officially kind of sort of dried in. A lot of detail to still happen there and here, and the other two basement windows for that matter. And I think that's going to be my next plan is, it's very irregular. This one is kicked out a large ways, and you know what, I think I want that one to get reset. This one already needs to get reset, and it's way off as well. So we're gonna take a look at that and see if we can get it a lot better, a lot closer, and set in where it wants to be, up against the window there. But same deal here. I think I'm gonna do some foam and some caulking, and I don't really know what else can be done there. Pretty typical, right? That's as good as we can do. We're airtight on the inside. It's taped with the Wig Love on the inside, so it's airtight. I just don't want water getting in there and sitting. So that's the big deal now. So I will also get some galvanized little pans to come out in front of this, fill it with stone, because the grade is going to be, about about here, you know, covering up that mortar joint. So I don't want to, I want the stone to be just at the bottom of this sill, so we got a lot of air and a lot of space from one to the other. So anyway, that is my update for the day. We are weather tight and getting closer to being really 100% weather tight by the moment. I think those two, the 4 basement windows are the big non-completely weather tight, but everything's ready for insulation except for the 3 doors in the back that need to get remounted. Actually, one of them's remounted, so there's 2 more to do. That's it. I feel like I'm still doing okay with this project management thing. I got a really nerdy, you gotta see this. I got a organizational board. Do something similar. I've done it for 20 years on robot projects. And I started a couple of weeks ago just in a notebook, and it was not cutting it. So I just went out and bought a, hi Ollie, you ready to go? I'm almost done. So this is my little board of project workflow here. Move back doors gets a little knob because it's the highest priority right now, but actually can take a couple of these and move them over to complete. Basement window got installed. A bunch of these are all checked off now. Framing is done. I think the basement door was in here somewhere that I can move over. I sprayed, cleaned and vacuumed, so those can get moved over. So accomplished a lot already this week. I gotta update this, but these are all the things that can't get done because something over here has to happen first. These are the to-dos. When they're like getting work done, they move over here. When they're complete, they're over here. And at the end of the week, you kind of shuffle back and recategorize, reprioritize, and make sure everything's in this place and you know what the most important things to work on are, so that we can actually live here someday without the dumpsters and the storage containers and the tarps. Just us. Hopefully someday very soon. Hope everybody's well. Take care. See you soon.